I busted watching this. The end of Gacha era is near. I just listened to it in the background.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching what I would like to believe is the end of an era. And I want to talk to you today about this. I think it's a very fascinating topic to delve into, and it's perfect and ripe for the particular season we're in with Gacha gaming. If you are like me, and I'm pretty sure you are, many of you are, you weren't a Gacha addict before Genshin Impact, and you weren't even a Gacha player before Genshin
I'm not
Impact.
like you.
That was the first game you got into. The game was so monumentally massive because of the pandemic, and that it was also a fresh game in the space that it brought in a heaping amount of players.
Okay, so he's already not technically talking to me because
people from different
I don't fit
niches,
that.
so on and so forth. And the good thing about that
Bro,
experience
Genshin made you?
is that
I played Gacha games for like 10 years before Genshin Impact was a thing, buddy.
that was also the very first time a lot of people got to play a Gacha game. And talk all the shit you will about Gacha games, there are some very fun aspects about them. And those fun aspects were overwhelmingly positive.
He's just saying that's who he's talking to.
Right? We had our V cards like basically cracked with this game. And so the hype, the FOMO, the oohs and ahs, you know, when you play a Gacha game at launch, its climax, it's what do you call it? Honeymoon phase is incredibly powerful.
So
when you play a Gacha game for the first time, it's infinitely more powerful than you would think.
Raise it up.
But basically this happened and people fell in love with these games, and it allowed them to basically have kind of like a tunnel vision for ignoring the predatory practices, the alarming problems of what comes with playing a Gacha game. And you were able to get away with these garbage practices as a developer because there also wasn't any other games to compare, to reference in the mainstream space, especially to noobs who don't know anything about Gacha games. You were able to get away with this, basically.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that really means, because technically there are other Gacha or other games you can compare it to that just don't have Gacha. You know, just they're called normal games, not Gacha games. So, I mean, there are normal games that aren't Gacha, but also in terms of like they could just get away with it because there wasn't anything to reference to is not correct either, because there were Gacha games, tons of Gacha games before Genshin Impact came out. Genshin Impact is like as successful as it is because, as sad as it is to say, its Gacha system at its time was one of the better. If you remember 2020 era, like, and before 2020, like Gacha still had zero pity Gachas, a lot of them. So as sad as it is to say, they got away with it because their systems were better than the ones that existed already, you know? So, I mean, that point doesn't really hold water.
But then what happens? Time starts to go by and these issues start to become more apparent and alarming, and players start complaining and they start looking for another game in that respective niche to play, because at that time it's not oversaturated. It's not a fragmentation at the point in time, right? So then Honkai Star Rail comes out and that becomes the next cope for playing a Gacha game that isn't Genshin Impact. That's going to be better. It's going to be different. But then you realize you're playing two Gacha games now that both have 50-50 systems, right? So that same wallet is now having to spend just a little bit more money, even if they aren't spending as much money on one individual game. You combine what they're spending on two games and it's increasing. And everybody has a budget. Everybody only has so much money that they can spend on one individual Gacha game, let alone 2, 3, or 4. So what happens is the space has to increase in volume and popularity, because if it doesn't, well, then you just have the same players spending the same money from their wallets. That's only going to carry you so far, right? And so what happens after this? Wuthering Waves comes out, the real Genshin killer. At least that's what they were being marketed as, whether they wanted to or not. More players start playing that game. Some of them leave Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail to play this game. Some of them stay there. Others start playing 3 different Gacha games at once. But regardless, a lot of players aren't coming into the space the way they did when the pandemic announced Genshin Impact. It's kind of just the same players circulating around and trying different Gacha games. Well, this particular dynamic and pathing continues to happen, but it speeds up rapidly as we know it. We know how this story goes. More and more Gacha games start coming out. You got Chaos Zero Nightmare. You got Love in Deep Space. You've got Arknight's Infield. You've got Neverness to Everness. You've got many other Nike, Goddess of Victory, Girls Frontline 2, Exilium. All of these Gacha games start coming out, but a lot of them are still doing 50-50 systems. Chaos Zero Nightmare did the 50-50 system. Girls Frontline 2, Exilium did it. You've got Uma Musume. You've got Star Savior, which aren't even 50-50s. They might even be worse because you can keep pulling until you just hopefully get the character. But one thing that's for certain is the gacha space as a whole is not actually expanding. And if it is, it isn't enough to compensate for that fragmentation and oversaturation of rapid gacha games releasing with these 50-50 systems. And so what's one thing we learned as time goes by? I remember in the beginning, I tried to tell people so much about these predatory practices and how much money you're actually spending on these games is ludicrous, that these companies are making too much money, and it was falling on so many deaf ears. But you speed up today and people now understand that phenomenon, that problem over glaring, it's a glaring problem because they're starting to play all these different gacha games. Some of them are trying to manage multiples at once and they're spending so much money. Why? One of the reasons, because of the 50-50 system. Losing it means spending a lot.
Oh, bro, the only reason, the only person that any of these people have to blame is themselves, bro. Like, what? If you're spending tons of money on gacha games, there's no other, like, yes, you could blame the fucking companies for having 50-50s, but why are you playing fucking 4 glorified gambling casino simulators? Just fucking give up some. You do not need to play 4 of them, or 5 of them or more, I can do it because it's my fucking job, right? But like, I can tell you, back when I was not a streamer and I played like 4, 5, 6 fucking gacha games, brother, the paychecks were tight. The paychecks were tight. I'm not kidding. When I say back in the day, I worked a second job so I could fucking afford a living while playing all the gacha games I was playing. It's because I was like swiping in so many gacha games. On top of that, I was also swiping on fucking MMOs and like need to pay rent, need to eat food, all that stuff, right? Keep the lights on. So I was fucking working an extra job because I need to fucking do it. I needed to, But like, that's a personal choice, Like, I'm not sitting there and being like, man, all these fucking games I'm playing, why are they so predatory? Meanwhile, like, keeps playing them. Like, brother, like, at that point, you just fucking drop some or quit. Like, you can't blame the companies at a certain point, right? You can blame them for making predatory games, sure. But, like, if you blame them but keep playing them, that's your fault at the end of the day, right? You can't blame the companies and be like, I'm gonna keep playing, though. Like, okay, at that point, then it's your fault, all right? Like, you are clearly well aware that these companies are giving you shit, and then you're still eating it, then it's your fault. There's nobody else to blame. Like, you can't say it's anything else,
A lot more money than you're comfortable with spending. And nobody wants to feel like they lost trying to acquire a character. Spending money to acquire a character.
Listen, I'll say this, all right? The easiest answer to what Gacha Smack is saying here, all right? I'll say this. If you have a gacha game where you've lost an obscene amount of 50-50s, just quit. It wasn't meant to be. You and that game weren't meant to be. It was just not, it's not fated. Move on to another game. That game hates you, and honestly, if the game wanted to keep you around, it wouldn't fucking have you lose that many fucking 50-50s, man. Some of you motherfuckers I do viewer polls for, and you show me your history and you've lost 14 50-50s in a row, brother, quit, man. Why are you keep playing? That's just fucking cock and ball torture at that point. Like, come on, dude. Just fucking move on, all right? Like, that's ridiculous, okay? Are you quitting Enfield? No, bro, but, like, that's different. You can't compare me to the average fucking person. I'm paid to fucking play these games, Like, every time I press the go live button, I'm getting paid, So, like, it's not the same, right? See, he is paid, guy. Yeah, as in you guys watching me. I have an incentive to keep playing these games because not only do I find them fun, but also there's people who happen to watch me play them. So I don't really like lose out as like an average person, right? But an average person who's losing out fucking 14 50-50s in a row, man. Listen, I'm going to keep it a buck, chat. I've had the gacha games way in the past that I used to play. And people who know me from way back when, like 2016, 2017, 2015, back then, they know. They're gachas that treated me like dog shit and I fucking flat out uninstall quit them. Cold turkey, okay? Because at a certain point, you have to understand, this game just ain't for you, all right? God himself is intervening and being like, bro, quit this shit. And you're like, all right, yo, Big G, I see you. I'm out of here. Like,
In and of itself is a fool's errand. It's foolish, but it's also a part of the gacha culture. And that's a battle I gave up on a long time ago. However, if foolish, lost, spending a lot more money than you're comfortable with spending. And nobody wants to feel like they lost trying to acquire a character. Spending money to acquire a character in and of itself is a fool's errand. It's foolish, but it's also a part of the gacha culture. And that's a battle I gave up on a long time ago. However, if you could choose to have a 50-50 system or not have a 50-50 system, most would say F the 50-50 system. Well, now we're living in a gacha space where developers are competing for your time and your money because the gacha space isn't increasing in volume enough to overcompensate for oversaturation and fragmentation. And when those two variables compound on top of each other, now you get a very competitive market where the future gacha games now have to give you better incentives, better monetary incentives and practices for free-to-play friendly teams and dynamics, games and dynamics, so that you want to try their game and potentially leave the game you're playing or try to squeeze in their game with the game you're playing.
Is your age
here lies the problem. Here comes the end of an era. Because this is becoming a over-blaring problem for developers and publishers, they now are forced naturally to make their games way more accessible and free-to-play friendly than the ones you're currently playing. And this is where things get interesting.
I actually disagree. I only think of the games that you see that are doing that and following this phenomenon are doing it because they know they can't compete. Bar for bar. I think the games who are giving you guarantee character, guarantee weapon, stuff like that, they do that because they know straight up if they put everything down on the table, they can't compete against companies like Kuro and Hoyo. Honestly, I'd even put fucking like Griffline and like, you know, those old timeless fucking companies who have been there for gacha. I don't think they can. If you put some of these games, put like a trajectory of like 2-3 years down the road that are doing these, their numbers are not going to be competing against Hoyo or Kuro or, you know, any of those top dogs, right? It's just, Kuro is literally that. Kuro literally has a 50-50 character banner. What do you mean? Weapon? Oh, true, bro. Because they have guarantee weapon, that suddenly makes their 50-50 character banner not exist. If you want to talk about that, right? It's smart of Kuro to change up on the formula a little bit and make the weapon guaranteed to attract even more people, right? Because let's be honest, what is one of the most bastard dog shit fucking mechanics Hoyo has ever created? Their fucking travesty of a weapon system, right? So like, it's, if anything, it's smart that Kuro keeps the 50-50 character, but then adds a little bit of different things, right? Isn't that his argument? Okay, I get that, but I'm sorry, man. A lot of the other games that are coming out post fucking WUA are, their quality's not there to match. Like, it's not the same. Like, if the games have the quality, then sure, right? But like NTE, bro, it's like the speed laugh emote right now. All right, listen, NTE is it's a fun game, right? There's lots of side shit that's fun, but like, bro, bar for bar, if I put NT next to Wuthering Waves, it's not even close. It's not even close, man. Right? Don't get me wrong. Driving around in the city is fun. Racing is fun. Stuff like that's all fun. But no, Mongol Stardive. Yep. Listen. I'm not promoting war. It's not that. It's just you have to understand that some of these games, I think the developers directly offset their inability to fight these other companies and brands face to face with quality by giving basically quality of life. And it works. It does. It does work. But I think they're forced to do that because they don't have the resources to produce something that's just gonna be astronomically better, you know? Because at this point, right, what is realistically going to get people away from Genshin, WUA, and like ZZZ, like that camp of people, right, players? What's going to get people out of that? It's literally going to be like the fucking next, I don't know, the greatest gacha game ever, right? And that's his point. Listen, I think his point is that this is an industry trend. I don't think it's an industry trend. I think it's just it's a trend amongst companies that don't have the means to compete at the top. But it's not a trend towards like, I don't think it's a trend that I would expect the people who are already at the top to follow through on. Look at Arknight's Enfield, right? Does Arknight's Enfield follow that trend of what Gacha Smack is saying? I don't think so. So, I mean, look at the fucking new Blue Archive gacha change we just saw. Bro, I don't think the companies who are at the top, who are established, are doing that. And when that's the case, I don't think that's an industry move. I think it's just a move by people who need to at the bottom or at the, the middle tiers. The top dogs are the ones that actually determine like what the real trend towards the industry should be. I think it's an underdog move. I think doing like the whole, guaranteed weapon plus guaranteed character, no 50-50 thing is like, it's something that the underdog company's gonna do to try to like, get a piece of the pie, but they're not gonna be fighting for like the large lion's share of the pie. They're just fighting for their little slice, right? So until we see like Hoyoverse come out with a guaranteed character, no 50-50, guaranteed weapon ban, then I'd be like, whoa, hold up. Wait a second, what's going on here? Yeah, look at Duet Night Abyss. You remember when the same exact fucking rhetoric was being spread by every content creator? It's like, this is an industry move. Here we go. Gacha games are learning. The developers are changing. The industry is shifting. What shifted, bro? What shifted, genuinely? Genuinely, what shifted? Duet Night Abyss is dead. I don't think anything shifted. Nobody fucking changed. Like, this is what I'm saying, this is the same old fucking rhetoric. So, like, listen, until you see the top dogs change, until you see Hoyo, Kuro, fucking Griffline, fucking Nexon, all of these big names that are at the top, until you see them change, Psy Games. Psy Games is the biggest fucking reportable motherfuckers, by the way. They make fucking tons of money, and they have the worst gacha system. So you think Psy Games is ever changing? Fuck no. Why would they change, brother? They fucking have the worst gacha systems and fucking print money out here. Like, they're not changing. Ananta is the only hope, bro. Ananta's not even gacha, bro. Like,
because the first game to really make that
Ananta's
power
straight
move
up not even
was
gacha.
neverness to
It's like
everness.
gacha outfits
not
or
a
something.
PvP, and that's very important. Because Epic 7 and Summoner's War and Etheria Restart, people will try and say those games have guaranteed no 50-50s. That doesn't matter because they're PvP, and if they didn't make their game a guaranteed rate up, people would just quit them because who the hell wants to play a PvP?
Wait, what is it?
And not a PvP, and that's very important. Everness to everness, not a PvP, and that's very important. Because Epic 7 and Summoner's War and Etheria Restart, people will try and say those games have guaranteed no 50-50s. That doesn't matter because they're PvP, and if they didn't make their game a guaranteed rate up, people would just quit them because who the hell wants to play a PvP game where you're gambling on getting characters that are meta? Nobody wants to do that, not in a PvP game. But when a single player game comes along and says, we're doing no 50-50, we're not doing it. We're giving up on that. We'll get it, or get our bag by various means such as cosmetics and such, but we are done with the 50-50 system. That is a huge power move by that particular developer that's also going to ripple and affect future gacha games and pre-existing gacha games.
Okay, but then like, isn't like Duet Night Abyss literally the insert name here like example of how this just did not pan out to anything?
And it's the first step to going in the right direction, truly, especially when you consider fragmentation and oversaturation, right? Now we're in a space where when a game starts to drop, the first thing people question is there a 50-50 system? People have become so overly sensitive to the 50-50 system that they won't even touch the game if it's a 50-50. If it's officially confirmed 50-50, oh, not playing it. Some people right now are jumping to conclusions on rumors, and it's not even confirmed yet by...
I don't think this is true. I feel like this is like I think Gacha Smack's coming from a position of a take as someone who's just played mainline gachas. Bro, Uma Musume literally came out like, what, a year or so ago in global, and has been one of the most successful fucking gacha releases recently. And it's got fucking the most dog shit gacha system that the West has ever seen in modern times. And it went viral. That game fucking pumped. And that system is way worse than 50-50. And everybody jumped on that shit, okay? Like, that game has quite literally one of the worst gacha systems known to mankind in this day and age, okay? But everybody fucking plays it. I think this view is correct, like, for a group of players, but not the majority. I think the majority would still play a game if its monetization system is still 50-50, as long as the game is good. If the game is fucking good, they'll still fucking try it. And if it's actually good, they'll still fucking play it. Because guess what? As sad as it is to say in 2026, 50-50 system is actually still one of the better systems out there. Because guaranteed systems aren't plentiful. And the games that have it are pretty mid. And then the games that don't have 50-50 are some convoluted ass dog shit fucking spark system. I'll die on this fucking hill. The only fucking good spark system out there in modern times is Nikkei's. Any gacha game that has a spark system that is not fucking like Nikkei's, it's shit, okay? Like, that is the best system. So, like, there are so many, like, dookie ass systems out there. The only thing that saves some of those systems is the amount of currency given away for free by some of those games. You know, that's why it's not as miserable. All right. But if those games decide to give a little bit less fucking currency, you'd fucking die. The biggest benefit of 50-50 is people know what to expect, and you have Arknet's Enfield. Snowbreak is the best one. Snowbreak's dead, man. Why is he not mentioning Arknet's Enfield Gacha and pull income, but only 50-50 of the other games? This is what I'm saying. I don't know if Gacha Smack knows a lot of the other systems outside of 50-50 and Guarantee. The era of, like, fucking Summoner's War and FGO having no pities, you know, fucking, you have GBF, OG GBF, that fucking system, fucking dookie ass. You literally are called, like, worse things and slurs if you ever roll outside of fucking Flash Fest or fucking Leg Fest. And then you need to have, you need to damn well make sure you have enough to pity, or else you're not getting anything. Like, it's a tourist normie take. I don't think it's a tourist take. I think it's just like a, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I think it's what he said in the beginning, right? This discussion is for people who don't know gacha pre-Genshin. Can we agree that most of the people who only know gacha post-Genshin are pretty surface level gacha enjoyers? They play like 1 or 2 gachas at most, and they like just stick to really like mainline stuff. You know, they don't really delve any deeper. He's talking to those people, and I mean, I think Gacha Smack is also one of those people, which there's nothing wrong with being those people, but like, it makes it so that you're not as knowledgeable on the fucking worst shit on the planet.
The devs of Silver Palace, if there actually is a 50.
Post-COVID sounds like a historical term. I just remember Rex used to have a fucking, Rexlant used to call certain CCs like, what, COVID CCs? That's what he used to call them. Gacha CCs who only decide to play gacha post-COVID. He called them COVID CCs.
50, or if it's Arknight's Infill, whatever. But people are so sensitive to it. Like, nope, I'm out. And I think this was the natural pathing of what has transpired in the gacha space, right? But getting back to NTE, the best thing that people can do by saying you don't want a 50-50 is support games with no 50-50s in the space. This is very common logic. It's not like you need a rocket science.
Yeah, but like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, chat. Just because you want to be like, yeah, do what's right, support non-50-50 games. Bro, don't fucking play a game just because it doesn't have a fucking 50-50 if the game's dog shit. Do it. I feel bad because I keep on fucking beating the dead horse that is Do It Night Abyss, but Do It Night Abyss was that quintessential thing that I sat there and I literally had I think there were a bunch of clips of me fucking going around. Of me like being so confused as to why the fuck all these CCs were like glazing the fuck out of Do It Night Abyss when like the base game, it's like, I don't get it. Like, everybody, like, Do It Night Abyss about to release, nobody's talking about the gameplay, nobody's talking about how smooth the game feels to actually play, nothing like that. Everybody's just like monetization. Like, bro, nobody plays a game because its monetization system's good. Like, bro, if I feed you the most dog shit fucking gameplay ever, but it's got guaranteed weapon and character, does that mean you're gonna fucking want to play it? No, bro. Like, the game has to be fun first, and then the monetization system, okay? Like, it's game first, dude. Like, the game has to be fun, all right? Like, come on, man. I don't think as many people care about the monetization system as much as the game being fun first. So they talked about monetization because they didn't have anything else positive to talk about that game. No, bro, it's legitimately, it was my biggest gripe with the Do It Night Abyss live stream. The final live stream before they released, my biggest gripe was, why aren't they talking about gameplay? Why aren't they talking about any game optimizations? Why aren't they talking about any changes they made since the last beta? They literally spent the entire live stream self-glazing themselves about how they're going full free to play. And it's like, everything's obtainable for free. Like, I don't play a game because things are free. I play a game because it's fun. I don't know why people have this delusion that people play games because of whatever makes their wallet feel better. No, people play games about whatever makes their fucking neurons activate, you know?
Degree to understand this phenomenon. If you doom post NTE, well, then you're also telling the developers, future gacha game developers, we don't care if
I don't know why Western communities keep thinking the issue is 50-50. The problem of Hoya system is a dog shit 0.6% pull rate and weapon banner use the same currency. 50-50 is a good part of the system. No, this is why I said multiple times that people need to understand in the gacha space, the 50-50 system is not the fucking, is like in the bigger like landscape of gacha, the 50-50 system is not that awful. It's just the other parts that are intertwined with the 50-50 system that can make it bad, right? But like 50, bro, I would take a 50-50 any fucking day over Uma Musume system. Uma Musume system is fucking Satan. Okay, 50-50 is like, bro, 50-50 is like, goddamn, if I opened my door and Hugh Jackman came in with a fucking suit and like, you know, just riz me up, I'd be like, yo, come on in, you know? Fucking Uma Musume was at the door, I'd fucking open it, it'd be fucking Lucifer and he'd zap me with fucking hellfire and I'd die. Okay, that's like the difference. I would take fucking 50-50 any day over Uma's gacha.
you even put no 50-50.
Like, brother, you guys saw my Tachyon polls, man. I went like how fucking much money and I had like 2 copies of Tachyon. Like that's ridiculous. Like it was like $1,200 and we had 2 copies of Tachyon. If I spent $1,200 on any other fucking gacha game, I would have way more than fucking 2 copies of a character. That's fucking ludicrous.
No 50-50s in the space. This is very common logic. It's not like you need a rocket science degree to understand this phenomenon. If you doom post NTE, well, then you're also telling the developers, future gacha game developers, we don't care if you even put no 50-50 in your game, we're still going to doom post it. So why would I remove my 50-50? I mean, NTE did it. They still hated on the game. That's just...
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. They're, I think Gacha Smack and other people who are talking about this are losing. They're getting lost in the sauce. It's not about the game itself has to be fun. So, and I'm not saying NT is not fun. It is fun, but like, I'm sorry, dude. The most fun parts of NT is everything besides the fucking things that require your characters and combat. The most fun parts of NT is driving around, doing all the fucking minigame stuff. All the parts that actually require your gacha characters and fighting things with those said gacha characters are kind of whatever.
Let's just go proceed with the 50-50 because they're playing Wuthering Waves, they're playing Arknight's Infield, they're playing Genshin.
This is why I said, by the way, that NT should double down on their mini games and stuff, because bro, the hide and seek shit was fun, the racing stuff is fun. Okay, the Mario Kart thing they tried is very laggy and buggy, but like, you know, if they figure out the netcode, like all these other mini side game shit, they're fun, you know. I'm down for that stuff. No, the fuck it wasn't. What, the hide and seek? Okay, the only issue I had with hide and seek was that the people I was getting as seekers literally seemed like they were missing a frontal cortex. So it was like I was like playing hide and seek against like a fucking blind dumb person, so I was just like confused. That's the only thing, but I think generally the hide and seek was fine.
Pack, Honkai Star Rails, Endless on Zero, all those games have 50-50s and they're making a heaping amount of money off of these guys. So clearly getting rid of the 50-50 isn't the issue. You see where I'm going? Silver Palace is another game coming into the mainstream space and all eyes are on its gacha system. This is good. This is wonderful because what y'all are going to do is they're going to compare it to Neverness to Everness. That's what you should.
As much as I think, yes, there are people looking at the monetization for Silver Palace, and there's a lot of discussion going on about the gacha. At the end of the day, I think more people are interested in how the game plays and how the characters look. If the gameplay is really fucking good, the combat is really good, and the characters look fucking gorgeous, I think most people are willing to fucking give it a try, regardless of how the gacha system is, you know?
Should do. You compare it to the best market contender in the mainstream space, and that's Neverness to Everness for a free-to-play, consumer-friendly experience. By doing that, you are now forcing another mainstream space game to have to confine to that principle, because if they don't, it's going to be a massive market capture loss. And on top of that, just recently...
Oh, bro, again, I think the biggest market capture gain that these games need to focus on is not monetization. It's making a good game, bro. Like, listen, like, I feel like a lot of people and maybe even developers point at their monetization system as the reason they failed. Listen, 90% of the time your game fails because your game's ass, bro. I know this, like, sounds mean as fuck, but, like, bro, you're a developer, you've made a shit game. Like... Just fucking, it's not your monetization fault. Like, sometimes it is. Sometimes there are games where the monetization ruins it, you know? Like, I think straight up, best example, Tribe 9. They fucking decided to shoot themselves like 5 times in the foot by, for some reason, making the fucking like gacha and the currency available so astronomically bad that they took a good game and literally amputated their own legs as soon as they released. And we're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just crawl with our arms. Like, shut the fuck up, man. What are you doing? So like, a good game can get ruined by bad monetization. It happens. But like, a good game with average monetization can do very fucking well. You don't need the world's greatest monetization system if your game is really fucking good, because people will fucking play it regardless. What is Tribe 9? A cautionary tale for future gacha developers. You know?
Chasing Collider Rider, another upcoming gacha game that's not PvP, that's important, just announced no 50/50, and they're adding limited banners into the standard banner upon their banners expiring. This is again in the right direction. Another game people need to support. It's important you support these games because that's how you
No. Wrong. You know, maybe I sound like I'd be really bad for the industry, but bro, no, I'm sorry. I think supporting games just because they have the right monetization style does not fucking mean anything good. Because if you support slop just because it has good monetization means you're telling the devs, you guys could make fucking dog shit, but if your monetization's good, we'll play it. Like, fuck no, bro. Nobody's playing that. Only support the fucking games that are good, okay?
tell future developers, we don't want 50/50s in our games. But them on top of NTE doing this, not only is it going to put pressure on future gacha games, it's going to put pressure on pre-existing gacha games too. Because what's going to happen is people who are playing these current gacha games are going to go, hey, hold on now. Why aren't you guys doing this? Why couldn't y'all have added these limited characters into the standard banner? Why do you still have to do this 50/50? You're making plenty of money. This is an overall net positive for the gacha.
I think that will only happen if a really fucking good game comes out with a better monetization system than Hoyo and any of the big ones. Like, a brand new one comes out, it's better than Genshin, better than ZZZ, better than Wuwa, and it has guaranteed character and weapon, and it's also taking a good share of the pop player base away, then it's like, oh shit. Now the big dogs will be like, oh fuck, wait a second. Oh, okay. You know, but like, when's that gonna happen? We haven't seen it, you know? Like, as much as like you guys, some people here might be Wuwa haters, you can't deny that Wuwa was one of the few gacha games post Genshin that is not from Hoyo that is actually really successful. And there were many other games before Wuwa that tried to be, you know, the Genshin Tower fans, you know, like the Genshin killer, the wow, we're the next best thing, and they were a fucking steamy pile of shit. Okay, so like at the end of the day, Wuthering Waves is a really fucking good game, but can we see a game that's at the Wuthering Waves Genshin Hoyo tier that can also, that doesn't choose to do 50/50 character and the guarantee weapon? I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen. Did we watch the ZZ EP? Yeah, it was like the worst EP I've ever listened to in ZZ. Not gonna lie, the way I felt after losing 3 50/50 in a row in Arknight's Enfield, even though I enjoyed the game, made me quit, so I guess something he says is making sense. Here's the thing. If that happens, I don't think you enjoy the game enough. That's why I'm saying those motherfuckers who have 14 fucking 50/50 losses, they're still playing those fucking games, bro. And it's because they unironically really like the game, you know? Like, we have Fobbits in here who have 14 50/50 losses in fucking Genshin, 10 50/50 losses in Wuwa, and they still play the game. It's because they still really like it, you know? I feel like if you lose 3 times and you drop a game, that just means you didn't like it that much, you know? Also, Kizuna, let's be fair, you probably play other gachas. And you like, a part of your mind was already like, I should probably drop some. Do I need to be playing Arknight's Enfield on top of what I already play? Probably not. And like, so you're like subconsciously just looking for a reason to eventually drop it. And that was like probably the best time to drop it. Yeah, I did want to get into the Enfield though. I mean, listen, but like, that's the thing, right? Like, unless Enfield was gonna be your main game, if you dropped it after 3 50/50 losses, I think that just meant, like, you know, it's like what I said earlier. Bro, God told you to fuck off and you should just fuck off, you know? It wasn't meant to be.
Space. And this is why I said this is potentially entering the end of an era, and that era is the 50/50 era. Now, do I think that Wuthering Waves and, you know, Hoyoverse and current pre-existing market captures are going to die upon all of this happening? No, but it is going to take away and trickle away from their audience. There's going to be a lot of players that are going to stay because they're loyal and they have sunk cost fallacy and they just love the game so much, and that's okay. But there's going to be
It's not. No, of all the games that are coming out that are actual gacha games, aka not Ananta, because Ananta's not a gacha game. Of all the games coming out recently that I feel like could actually give competition to Hoyo and Kuro, maybe Silver Palace, NTE. I think NTE, unfortunately, kind of just gonna be like the Tower of Fantasy, but better. It captured its little slice of the pie, and it's gonna keep that slice of the pie. But I don't think it's going to be like, whoa, droves of people are quitting Genshin, ZZZ, and WUA to play NT. Nah, I don't think so. NTE already consistently outperforms WUA on PlayStation. Same with Arknight's Enfield. I mean, if you say so, I guess. But like, I don't know. NT's more revenue than ZZZ? Maybe, bro. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but like, I'm just talking about from my feel, right? Generally, like, I don't have always the right reads on things, but like, I have a usual like gut feeling when I feel like a game is gonna be like good, but like not a top contender. You know, obviously I was wrong as fuck about Honkai Star Rail, but that was just my turn-based hate boner speaking. But yeah. I know about the HSR take, okay?
players who are playing and they're like, you know what, I'm out, man. These other games are just way more free to play friendly, way more accessible. And as I said before, I only have so much money in my wallet. I only have so much time for free time for playing video games. And me trying to keep up with this very expensive game.
I think the proper discussion that needs to be had here is not about gacha systems and stuff like that, or what games are coming out with doing 50-50 or not 50-50. I think the proper discussion is to talk about just the economics of just the day-to-day people nowadays. Bro, the economy's fucking shit. A lot of people, and studies have already shown it, that people are spending less and less money on just like fun shit anymore, you know, because they don't have that type of they're not, people are a little bit more conservative with their money right now, you know. Entertainment funds are just not as big. Not in China. You say that, but that's actually because of something else. China had a recent luxury crackdown where, like, in terms of basically China, basically the luxury sector in China crashed comparatively to the past, right? Like, before, China was like spending obscene amounts of money on fucking luxury goods. Now it's like fucking shifted towards like digital shit, like fucking CS, Pokemon cards, stuff like that. And because of that shift, like China's like, it's an anomaly. It's different. But like, I'm talking about like, I feel like the other parts of the world, you know, like at least like here in America, etc. Like, I feel like people definitely are spending less money on just entertainment, you know.
Game where a big part of my enjoyment is character collection. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Why would I spend $150 to just acquire a character absent of their weapon when I can go to this game over here and spend $75 and get the character and their weapon? You see what I'm saying? It's very common sense. At the end of the day, I think we are naturally going in that direction, but it's important that the consumer remains conscious of these games and the monetary incentives that they're doing. I think it's great that people scrutinize Silver Palace in future games in terms of whether they're doing 50-50s, so on and so forth. This is not to say that they're a 50-50 system cannot.
I think this is all great and good, but I think the proper thing that we should all be really doing is this. And this applies to me as well. We all stop playing these dog shit slop ass gacha games, you know, and at least play the better gacha games only. Then maybe they'd stop fucking pumping. Maybe Korea will stop pumping their 15th iteration of the same dog shit fucking 3D model engine turn-based PvP game using the same old fucking asset flips that they've done 500 times. We need an era where these fucking pieces of shit stop existing. The fucking steaming piles of shits that just like line the fucking bottom of the fucking ocean here, okay? So people realize that there is not money to be made when you make a low effort piece of shit. Okay? If you're gonna make a fucking game, make a decent one, alright? Stop fucking asset flipping some dog shit fucking turn-based game that's fucking called Eversoul, or fucking, oh look, fucking, speak of the devil, you know? Like, stop asset flipping these dog shit fucking turn-based PvP Korean games, okay? Just fucking make a good one. Like, if Korea stopped making 15 dog shit turn-based PvP games, and then took all the money to develop all 15 of those and put it into one decent one, oh my god, maybe there'd be a good one. Oh, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Or how about you go fucking train so you can land those shots a bit better? These motherfuckers just be like, I'm 400 pounds. I've got 0 athletic ability, but hey, you missed 100% of shots you don't take. Fuck it. No, motherfucker. Go practice a little bit, train, and then take some shots, okay? Stop fucking making dog shit while you have no fucking training, all right? Like, I swear to God, that's what gacha devs do nowadays. They're fucking like 0 athletic ability, 0 training, don't know how to do anything, and they're like, vibe code with AI, acid flip, release. Oh, here we go. Like, that's literally what they do now, okay? Throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Exactly. That's literally, that's the definition of most of these fucking games. Shit that they fucking just threw at the wall and saw if any of them made fucking money. And then when they make money, it's like, yo, let's go. Here we go. You think cursing makes you sound smart because you do it a lot? No, motherfucker. Cursing makes people sound stupider, bro. You think I think cursing makes me sound smart? No. Check this AI shit. No, bro, we're not even gonna talk about. Listen. You can't convince me that a theory restart is not literally what I'm talking about too. By the way, have they gotten any better since their fucking last AI fucking nonsense?
Grandma said herbs carry warmth.
Let's see. What's her PV like?
Some folks are swimming in cash today, begging on the streets tomorrow. Man, these little tricks
It's
are
still
hilarious.
fucking AI slop, bro. Oh my god. That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't convince me a theory restart wasn't literally a pump and dump. I'm telling you a theory restart is a pump and dump, and people still bought into this shit and played the fuck out of it. No, it's a pump and dump. It's literally a pump and dump, bro. Due diligence we have to do as players is to stop fucking buying into some dog shit fucking snake oil salesman that's releasing some piece of shit fucking gacha game and playing it. I say that as someone who also participates, and I need to also stop fucking falling for dog shit low-hanging fruit gachas and then spending money in them, all right? I know I have that problem too, okay? Bro, you literally do sponsors for half of them. I don't disagree, but can I ask you this? When I was sponsored Do It Night Abyss and a theater restart, what did I do the moments the sponsors were over? I'd always be like, bro, I'd tell you guys my honest opinion on the games, okay? I'd always tell you guys, this game's fucking slop, all right? I'd do the sponsor, and then I'd fucking tell you, don't do it. You're a sellout? Hey, listen, I get the bag, and I get to tell you guys the truth after? I don't see a problem with that. You know, I don't see a problem with that. JP Gacha's gonna come up with some interesting stuff, but Gacha system's so shit nobody wants to play. Yeah. JP, I will never understand. The issue with JP is, the biggest issue with JP is the JP player base does not care what the monetization is. It could literally just be Satan reincarnated, and they'd be like, oh, this gacha has a satanic gacha system? Well, sign me up. I'm a Satanist. Like, that's literally JP players. Like, this is how they work. So what are your real thoughts on HNA?
Not related
I
to
actually think it could
subjecting
be
discussion.
good. I actually think the one thing that really will save HNA is the creature collector, bro. Like, even just now, I was only supposed to do an hour sponsor. My original plan was to hop off that shit immediately and fucking go do something else. But then I just started getting fucking addicted to just capturing shit. And I mean, that's the thing, right? It's the same reason we like Power World. It's the same reason we like Pokemon. There's just something about knowing there's creatures that you don't know that are out there. And then there's shiny versions that you can run around and find. It's like, you don't like Power World? No. I liked Power World when I played it. I just don't want to play it again because it's the same shit, you know? I know there's a ton of new content, but like, I'm good. You can collect students in Blue Arc. I think that's where we wrap up for today, boys.